Sorry, I didn't hear you. What did you say? Please say it again, Dubai.
Jai Jinesh, nice to see you.
Oh, Jay Jinder, nice to see you as well. Thank you. Okay. Uh,
Yes, we can start.
okay. Thank you, Jay Jinder, everyone. Uh, so today we are going to focus on yoga practices for stress and anxiety. Uh, I don't know why we kept this towards the later part. This problem should have been one of the first things because we all suffer from it at one time or the other. Some of us are better than handling than others. So let's see. Again, our gratitude to our ministry for synthesizing the ancient knowledge of yoga meditation with supported with the scientific research. As usual, make sure any poses that you practice or you share with others shouldn't injure anyone, and it's not a competition. Do up to your ability. You're always evolving every day. So the first is stress. What is stress? It's our body's reaction to any change that requires an adjustment or a response. It's a survival mechanism to help us navigate threats, fight or flight. Our nomadic forefathers, you saw some animal who is going to devour you. Do you stand your ground or do you want to run? So that's how this mechanism got inbuilt into us. But uh, when our brain perceives a threat, its chain reaction begins in the amygdala. There's a threat detection. Should I do fight or flight? There's a type of that. And the command center, the hypothalamus, gets activated. The adrenal glands release the hormone, adrenaline, spikes the heart rate, the energy, and hormone cortisol gets released as well, the stress hormone. And there are two types of stress. And again, this may be, I'm maybe recapping probably what Devendra Bhai has already covered, but just to make sure uh, we can establish this as the foundation for yoga. Positive stress is good. It keeps us motivated, which is short-lived and improves performance. But when we have a negative stress, perennial, constant stress, that's when it creates health issues. We feel out of control. And what are the long-term results of the stress? What are the stressors? Could be situations, relationships, activities that cause trauma to our physical, emotional, or psychological self. Our response to stress, whether to fight or flight, it was get a burst of energy to escape a predator. However, the definition of predator has changed in our times, in the modern times, because we always have bills, email, traffic, deadlines, all that, right? So the body is always in high alert for too long, so which causes what? Brain impact. It shrinks the hippocampus, where making it harder to learn and manage emotions. Immune system gets compromised. Then we are susceptible to falling sick often. And vascular health, constant high BP can strain the heart and arteries. Arteries get hardened and blocked. So there are grave consequences of long-term stress. Continue to be stressed all the time. Now, how does yoga help, right? So as we saw, it is a body's fight or flight mechanism gets activated. Um, so the yoga helps us to move from that mode, the sympathetic nervous system mode, into parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and relax, rest and digest, rest and relax. Um, and the poses that we select are that encourage deep, that diaphragmatic breathing, gentle inversions that lowered the heart rate, lowered the BP. So everything tried to bring it to tone it down so the parasympathetic nervous system gets engaged, bringing the BP down, heart rate down. We're not on constant alert. When the vagus nerve is toned, our body becomes more resilient to stress. I always like, this is one of the largest nerve in our body. Start from the stem, um, brain stem, all the way down to the colon. If you follow this, you probably have seen this diagram. This nerve goes all the way, goes to different parts of the body, and goes to kidneys, to all different organs, stomach, and then goes all the way to the colon. It plays a very crucial role in regulating um, various body functions, digestion, heart rate, breathing, immune function. So vagus nerve is very critical, and yoga, uh, and it's a very major component of parasympathetic nervous system. Activation of this nerve can promote relaxation, decrease the heart rate, increase digestion, increase nutrient absorption, improve the immune function. And then we select yoga postures to engage to activate the vagus nerve. So let's see what the poses and the benefits are. And most of the poses you probably already know, right? But it's the benefits. One pose may have so many benefits of so many different ailments. But here, what we are trying to specifically say is mountain pose. You know, your torso is expanded, so expanding the lung capacity. More oxygen, more prana you take, it basically gives you a lot more energy. It's the perfect container for deep rhythmic breathing. It signals the nervous system shift from fight or flight to rest and digest, right? So Tadasana, mountain pose, is a very effective pose for managing stress. Child pose, right? This establishes a boundary between one person who is doing the child pose, the practitioner, and the stressors outside world, because you're not looking at them. Their sensory organs are not engaged. It stretches the lower back and hips where the tension is normally held, and resting the forehead on the mat or on the floor, it creates a grounding. It signals the brain that it's safe to relax. So you see, Balasana is such a simple asana, but look at the benefits in all different ways, just very specific to this particular ailment. Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. Um, it activates, it stimulates the vagus nerve, which, as we saw, it helps lower the blood pressure and overall reducing the feeling of anxiety. Um, if you look at a pigeon pose, I think we have done it. Ardha Kapotasana, pigeon pose, where a lot of stress is held in our hips, the psoas muscle. It linked to the diaphragm and stress response. This deep hip opener helps release the physical contraction that helps when we are stressed or sitting for long periods of time. So you could actually do the pigeon pose in a stepwise manner, and we'll look at the diagram. Then standing forward fold. Standing forward fold, right? We are letting the head hang loose, neck hang loose, releasing any stress, heaviness. And because it's a gentle inversion where the head is uh, below the heart, then it naturally quietens the mind, right? So most of the poses, you're aware of it, you know how to do it, but the benefits when you do it, why we are doing it for this particular ailment is the key factor. The cat-cow pose, Marjorie Asana, Dithilasan, it forces the heart rate to slow down. The rhythmic arching and rounding It gives a gentle massage to vagus nerve, asking our brain to, informing our brain to move from uh, sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic, that it is safe to do so. There's no threat, there's no impending danger, right? We are massaging the vagus nerve. The seated forward bend, Paschimottanasana, uh, because we are looking towards our legs, our senses are again uh, not overloaded. So then helps us our executive function to rest, to monitor what's happening, executive function, take action, be on high alert. All that is coming to rest and triggering the parasympathetic nervous system. Setu Bandhasan, bridge pose. Here, your head is on the floor and your uh, heart, chest area is a little bit higher. So that enables deep breathing, inhibits the production of cortisol, the stressful hormone, and the receptors in the back, in the neck, and the upper chest detects a shift in blood flow, right? Um, Sending a signal to brain to slow down the heart rate, dilate the blood vessels. It's the incremental. We are not totally full inversion. We are not doing a shoulder stand. We are not doing a head stand, but just even an incremental where the head is lower than the heart is such a beneficial in reducing the heart rate. Look at that. Corpse pose, right? Um, it tells the hypothalamus there's no immediate physical threat because we are lying down, allowing the adrenal glands to stop pumping out cortisol and adrenaline, the stressful hormones. We saw the poses, very familiar with these poses. Let us review them again. Balasana, the key is your bottom has to be on the heels. And if that's a challenge, you can go ahead and keep a pillow. If you don't have a pillow, um, you could create a fist. So the forehead, instead of resting on the ground, because if the forehead is touching the ground, if you're not flexible enough, the hips are not open enough, your bottom is not going to touch the heels. So perhaps you put a fist or a pillow or a block uh, on the forehead, so that the forehead can rest on. The arms are stretched. The arms could be on the side, palm facing up. That's also good. Sashankasana. Both the postures are beneficial for this rest and relax mode. Viparita Karani, we have done this so many times. One thing to note here, this diagram, is we are pointing the toes so that there's a natural way for the blood to again come out from the extremities and start flowing down. If the look at the if the foot if both the feet were flat, it will be much harder. It may take longer, but creating a little bit of inclination where it's pointed, where the feet are pointed, then it's much more efficient in this. And again, you're supporting your back. You're not constricting your throat. This is again relaxation. You get the support of the wall, which is called legs up the wall. I'm using this diagram, but it's the wall. I need to make sure I can show a wall there. Then your hands are free. You don't need to support your lower back. This is the half pigeon. Opening the hip, the psoas muscles, uh, hip flexor. So in this diagram, we have the left leg bent and the torso is straight, vertical. And then you could actually go ahead, once you stay in this posture for a few seconds, you can go ahead and bring the torso down, bring the forehead to the ground, and stretch your arms. We have done that before. Here, the thing is, hips are not open. So how do we do that? Use the support of the blocks. For example, on the left side, put a block so that part of your hips is resting on the block. The key is to stretch the right leg, because left is bent, as close to the midline as possible. By using a block on the left side, then you are already getting some height that gives your right leg to be more straight and midline, close to the center line. And as I said, once you are sitting this, you could actually lean forward the torso and relax. And again, you can rest, have a block rest where your forehead can be rested on the block. Uh, and I'll demonstrate this pose at the end of our presentation. How do you get into this pose, right? You start with downward facing dog, where your head is hanging, neck is hanging, it's close to your heart, your hips are above towards the ceiling, you stretch completely. Then you bring the right leg forward, or in this case, the left leg forward, bend it. Anyway, your right leg is already back. And so that's how you get into the pose. Pigeon, half pigeon pose. The full pigeon will be the gymnast to do it. It's called the split, where both the legs are stretched. But that's not something which we want to focus on. We want to get a stretch, and half pigeon does good, and we can just change the side. Left leg bent. After we are done with this, you do the right leg. One of the things to pay attention here is the longer you stay in this pose, the longer you are give the time for the body, for the gravity to keep having your feet, your thighs on the rest, in this case, right, open up, your hips to open up, it comes closer to the ground. So there is no harm in doing this, starting with 30 seconds, making it to 1 minute, 2 minutes. Perhaps you do 1 minute sitting and 1 minute incline where the torso is flat. Uh, that'll be much easier. Or you could go incline first. I mean, go in the supine first for 1 minute, and then straighten your back vertical the way it is for another minute. In the comfort of your own home, this is a very effective way. It's a deep, um, releases stress. It opens up the hip, releases the stress. Uh, so that's what should come to the mind. Stretch is obvious, but then when you're stretching, any tightness in the hip slow gets removed over a period of time as we practice releasing stress. Standing forward bend, right? Even this one, there is a different transition phase. When you start with Tadasana, your hands are stitched to your ears, and then you start coming down, 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 and let your hand hang loose. Your hands are hanging loose. Maybe perhaps you take your fingers under the toes, um, and then stretch. Um, Basically, gravity is going to pull you down, but the idea is to make sure you keep the leg straight. In this case of stress management, you're cutting down all the external stimuli because you're just working with yourself. So effective way. And furthermore, the head is lower than the heart. So another reason the brain signals to slow down the heart rate. Uh, when I started doing yoga, some of these poses I would do it and I'll feel so good. And people will ask, how was the session? I'll say, wow, I feel very good, very relieved, a lot more energetic. But I didn't know the reasons. And there's this huge amount of science behind all this. So we are fortunate in this age where a lot of research is going on, has gone, and still continues to go on, why certain poses work and what they do. Here is the cat cow pose, Marjorie Asana. Um, Again, this rhythmic creates a signals the brain that there is no impending danger. Um, we are stretching and relaxing. There's no impending danger. Again, um, you could come into the neutral position. Start with Vajrasana. You sit on the Vajrasana, sit it on heels, and then come on the all fours and start doing it. This is a very easy pose to get into. Seated forward bend. Here is one pose where the props are going to be very useful. You want to keep the legs straight, and if the fingers don't grab hold of the toes, you put a strap around or a towel around the outside of your feet, and then come forward, come down, and again your face may not be touching your legs, but let gravity work. The longer you do it, the more frequent you do it, it will happen. We all were flexible. We just lost that touch because the muscles have not been used up. We used to sit on the floor, but now sitting on the floor is like we have to go to a class, right? Earlier, sitting on the floor was a way of life. Whether you're having a dinner, lunch, or breakfast, everything was done while sitting on the floor. Even in weddings and events, but not anymore. Right? So we lost that ability, but again, with continuous practice, we can get to this seated forward bend where our head is closer to the leg. Setu Bandhasan. This pose, it's a tremendous, so many things are involved in this. Your heart is a little bit higher, so that way it triggers the receptors in the neck, and the chest tells the brain to slow down the heart rate. That's one thing. This particular. Here we are. It's good for back because the child pose was stretching the back in one direction. Here, stretching the back in the opposite direction. And then you're strengthening as well, strengthening your back muscles, stretch and strengthen. And here the weight is on your arms and not on your neck or shoulder or head. On your arms, lower and upper arm, and on your feet. And if this is a posture that you're not comfortable holding for long, use the blocks. You'll get the similar benefit. But then, as far as this particular ailment is concerned, we are not trying to strengthen our back. We are trying to relax, engage the parasympathetic, reduce the heart rate. So having a block will definitely uh, help you, and you can have the postures, maintain the posture for a longer time. Again, there are different variations. You can clasp your fingers as it's done in the diagram. You can support your lower back if you're not using a block, uh, creating two pillars of the bridge for this. You have the calf muscles as two pillars, and then you're going to have your lower arms at the additional two pillars, which means that you can go higher, very much deeper pose. This pose then sets you up for wheel. Uh, it's not included here, but you can imagine that your head is coming off the ground completely. That becomes a wheel. And how do you support the wheel? With your palms. So the bridge into wheel, again, that's a more advanced pose, but something to be aware of if you're when you're working with people. As I said, this is the hardest pose of all the yoga. You could do all gymnastics and all kind of twisting your body, but getting a control over mind is the one of the most hardest thing. So um, the motor nerves are already silent because you're not moving. Sensory nerves follow with autosuggestions. Uh, so great way to be living in the present moment. If, if the instruction or if my awareness saying it needs to be on the right toe, I take my awareness there and not think about what I'm going to do right after the cops goes, after the class. So the great training to live in the present moment. That's why this posture is, you would see again and again in so many different diseases. So that's this Savasana. Uh, Moving through, and hold your questions. If you have it, write them down either on the chat or on a piece of paper. I want to move through so that once we stop the presentation, we can review the questions and I can demonstrate some of the poses as well. Anxiety. Um, and while stress is a response to an external threat, right? But anxiety is body's persistent internal reaction to a perceived threat. It may not be, it's not a real. Most of the time, it's not real, and we are anxious about it. It's characterized with a feeling of tension, worried thoughts, physical changes like increased BP. And a good way to understand the stress is an alarm going off because there's smoke in the kitchen. Oh, I forgot something at home. I turned the uh, one of the burners on and I never turned it off. That's stress if you know for sure. But if you start, visualizing, oh, maybe it's on, maybe it's not on. So then it's so sensitive that you have to become anxious now. Even though you may not have left it on, but because you're doubting now yourself, and we have been in that situation many times. Just an example, many examples such to this. Then you call somebody to say, okay, go and please check it. Or you revert wherever you're going, come back home and check it. So this anxiety was your whole body was on edge for a brief period of time, but hyperactive. In the state of anxiety, what happens? The communication between the alarm, the amygdala, and the prefrontal cortex are very active, become hyperactive. The amygdala stays high alert, constantly scanning the environment for potential problems. Oh, maybe it's burning, maybe it's creating. So creating all kinds of stories in our mind or whoever we are traveling with. In a healthy state, this part of the brain tells the amygdala, it's okay. This is the logic center. It's okay. We are going to get it checked. It's just a shadow. And when anxious, the amygdala hijacks the logic center, making it more difficult to use reason to calm down. Anxiety says all in your head. That is not true. Anxiety, it manifests in the physical body also. It keeps our body in a state of readiness for a disaster that does not happen, right? Um, some of the symptoms are uh, racing heart, shallow breathing, uh, stomach churning, muscles tensed up in the jaw, shoulders, hips, can't sleep because of this constant anxiety. Um, there are again rageful thoughts, assuming catastrophic situation. Um, Not able to reason out now, and difficult to concentrate. And some of the behavioral symptoms of anxiety are we avoiding certain situations, certain places. We are seeking constant, and we are restless, seeking constant reassurance that everything is fine. And these are common. These anxiety and stress are so prevalent in this modern society. Um, it's very beneficial to see how yoga can help. In the anxious state, the brain sends a signal to prepare for a threat, signal to the body to prepare for the get ready to run. The, the adrenaline gets produced, the excess blood gets produced. I mean, it gets pushed so that it's energy giving you place to run. Yoga uses physical postures to send a signal to the brain, back to the brain, that we are safe. There is no need to be in high alert. Vagus nerve stimulation, as we saw, the gentle twist, forward pose, the deep breathing stimulates the vagus nerve, signaling the brain to lower the heart rate, blood pressure. When we do, in most of the yoga poses, as I said, we hardly hold breath, but we synchronize exhalation, inhalation. For example, in sun salutation, we have said anytime we are bending forward, you're exhaling, right? These synchronizations, the slow rhythmic breathing, it inhibits the production of cortisol, the stressful hormone. So there's synchronization that's very helpful with this deep breathing. Releasing the physical armor. Uh, we have the anxiety manifests as stress in the tightness, clenched jaws, hunched shoulders. Both the shoulders are coming in the front. That's why when you're doing Tadasana or when you're standing and walking, be more mindful and open your chest and your arms facing, opening up upper arms. Uh, that's why you can open your chest up and you can take in a lot more prana, a lot more energy, oxygen. Um, we break this the loop, right? By consciously stretching and relaxing these different muscles. Laughing yoga, right? That's basically our face has got so many small nerves and muscles, and we never, unless you're watching comedy or yours, among friends, you never relax, and that's why the laughing yoga is important as well. Um, and some of the hunched shoulders, tight hips, we can use different postures to open them. By constantly stretching and relaxing these muscles where we hold the physical tension, um, by relaxing them, this connection back to self-feeding loop, mental worry. So tightness in the physical body increases the anxiety, mental worries. We break the chain by relaxing, by stretching these muscles. And here also a deep flexor, hip flexors, so much built up energy, stored stress. By stretching them, we go ahead and discharge that energy. I just want to show psoas muscle. We have seen this before. It is the muscles on two muscles, one on each side. They are called the core muscles, located behind our abdominal. The other prime hip flexor. Its main job is to lifting the leg, so that the posture is straight, flexing the torso. Very important psoas muscles. And this what helps you to run in terms of fight or flight. It gets the signal, the threat around. So the postures that work with psoas muscles are very helpful as well. Just continuing on additional reasons. The reason I broke this up is I just wanted to show the psoas muscle diagrammatically, because we are saying that we are discharging the energy um, by targeting the psoas muscle. Grounding and proprioception. Uh, Anxiety is, worst case scenario, or always talking about future or the past. Whereas yoga, you have to be in the present moment. Um, Proprioception is more about where is our body in space when you're doing certain balancing pose, tree, or so you have to know where you are, where the weight should be. Um uh, so leaving the less room for wandering, for our mind to, wander into different places. Interoception, um, it builds our awareness of what's happening. Yoga is not about what posture you're doing, but also what you're feeling inside. What sensation, which part of the sensation. Uh, and when I'm having this particular posture, for example, doing butterfly, you may feel pain in the hip area. The knees are off the ground. So you can say it's a temporary physical sensation and helps us build the sense of equanimity. Um, some of these yoga postures we select, they create stressors, micro stressors. So that we are training ourselves to stay calm, um, and continue breathing, stay calm and carry on, right? Continue breathing even for minor discomfort of a yoga pose. Practicing how to remain the calm in the storm while we are on our yoga mat. And this training helps us in a real life situation. Again, many of the postures are similar as what we have seen for stress, but here additional reasons create a sense of turning inward when you talk about child pose that can help quiet a mind that's racing and provides a feeling of safety. Legs up the wall, blood flows back to the heart, as we said, from the extremities, um, also, and the head is also on the ground, so it's all the rush of blood uh, is coming towards the heart, so they can get reoxygenated. It's a calming pose as well. Cat cow pose, again, we talked about it. Inhaling to arch the back and exhaling to round it. Helps synchronize the internal rhythm and release the tension stored in the spine and shoulders. The reason I was quiet, I just wanted to make sure arching the back, you're inhaling, so our head is up and the back is arched down. And when the head is down, the back is arched up. So I just wanted to make sure that I wrote it right. Standing forward bend, Uttanasana. As I said, the head is hanging heavy, so releasing the neck tension. Idea is to release the tension, not necessarily focus on relaxation rather than the intensity of the stretch. So what do you have to do? You could bend your knees in this case. The idea is to relax and let go of the tension in the head, in the neck area. We have two postures, Garudasana and Vrikshasana, tree and eagle. And as I said, these are balancing poses. Brain needs to get very actively engaged. So it crowds out any unneeded thoughts for that particular when you're doing the pose. Because you cannot balance while the mind is busy. So these are grounding, very good grounding pose. Matsyasana fish pose, it opens the chest, throat, and shoulder, signaling that is it's safe to unshield and be vulnerable. Because you're in the supine position, the chest is opened up, a lot more oxygen you're able to take. So the feedback loop of physical tension and the mental tension is broken. It's easier now to relax because our chest is opened up. We can take in a lot more. Um, so just a diagrammatically, child pose, we have seen that, discussed that. Um the one thing I wanted to say that you can transition in this pose uh, if you're looking for additional stretch, and I'll demonstrate that. Where you thread the needle pose, it's called. You basically take the right hand and move it under your chest on the opposite side. And similarly, you can do the left hand, making it come towards the right side. Uh, Thread the needle will basically relax your shoulders, relax your upper arms as well. And I'll show you, I'll demonstrate that. Viparita Karani, again with the wall, so the hands are free. Marjari Asana, we talked about it. Standing forward bend. This is the Vrikshasana, right? Where now your hips are open and you see the knee on the right leg. It's all the way in line with the hips. It's not in front of a hip, but it's in line with the hip. That's very critical, which means that your hip is opening up. If you can't go that high, your leg won't bend to that high. That's fine. Keep it lower, below the knee. That's okay. But make sure the idea is, in this case, is also open the hip and also balance. Anxiety, so we are doing a lot of things. We don't want to engage in thoughts about past or future. We want to live in the present moment, find a point of focus, and want to open the hip up. It doesn't need to be where we need to bring the leg very close to thighs. That's fine, even if it's lower. But hips have to be opened up also so that we can release any stress and stay in the present moment. This requires, again, our right side and left side hemisphere to talk to each other, because the right hand and left hand are facing each other, right? When you're doing, and you can combine that with your leg. Right leg is behind the left leg. You can wrap it around. So it needs to be coordinated. Your brain needs to be engaged, both hemispheres. You have to be in the present moment. You have to maintain the balance. So this is a fantastic pose. Eagle arms, you can sit in Garudasana or standing Garudasana. Matsyasana, again, the legs could be straight or could be in, bent, or Sukhasana or Padmasana. Idea is not to have any weight on the head. And again, you could use props here, right? Under the chest, you could put a bolster so your head can be hanging off the bolster. Idea is to open the chest. That's all the poses that I have, but I want to demonstrate some of the poses. Demonstrate some of the poses. And we'll cover that in the Saturday session also. This is something we are talking about, pigeon. So pigeon, what we said is come into the downward facing dog, right? And hips, again, the soles of the foot, both the feet are on the ground. Your hips are going away from the ground, going towards the ceiling. Your head is coming towards the heart. You can stay here for a few seconds. Then you take the one leg, in this case left leg, bend it. and I can straighten my right leg as straight as possible, but my hips are still in the air. So I'm going to get the support of a block. Let me change the side so it's easier for you to see me. So as I said, the right leg has to be as close to the midline as possible. Here my hips are hanging, so I can put a block here, and easier for me to straighten my torso. Right, I'm resting, so it's more gentle pose in this case. Idea is to my right leg has to be as straight as possible, uh, as close to the midline as possible. Then I can use another block. Again, I highly encourage you to have this props. It helps you. It's an investment in yourself, investment in when you're helping others. So, and here I can rest my forehead on the block. You can change the height whichever way you want, or if the forehead touches the ground, that's also fine. And if you are stretched enough, you can say, okay, I can work and let gravity open up and bring my left hip also on the ground. Okay. Um, I wanted to show you the thread the needle pose, right? When we are doing the child pose, you're seated in Vajrasana, right? And again, spread the leg a little bit at the knees, come down. This is the classic child pose. But what we are going to do is take the left hand and stretch it on the right side, and I can put my right cheek on the ground. I have a headset, so I'm just going to show you. It's stretching your shoulders, relaxing and stretching and giving good massage. Same thing I can do on the right side. Otherwise, how do you stretch your shoulders? This is a fantastic way to relax and stretch. What else I wanted to show you? We did Garudasana. Garudasana is we had done a Gomukhasana, is in the back, right? Okay. Here the strap helps. If my shoulders are tight and not able to hold, I take the strap, right, on the right side. And this side, I'm going to take my right hand up. I'm going to show you my back. I get hold the strap. Take the left hand, bring it back, palms facing, and then clasp the band. Okay, and as you practice, you won't need the belt. So that's what we did in the back. How do we do in the front? So we have to basically, palms are touching each other, your shoulders are raised up, the hands are moving away from your face. From the side, you can take a look at. As you can see, I'm there. I still have more ways to go, where palms could be facing each other like that. But this is kind of cheating, where I want to lift my shoulders and the palms are touching each other. And then I can bring the leg into the equation, where I'm not that flexible, where my right leg, right foot could wrap around my left ankle. And that requires good balance as well. right? And you can change the side and have the right leg on the right hand on the top instead of left hand. I mean, just change the side. So for anxiety and stress, releasing the health of stress, so opening the hips, maintaining balance, vrikshasana. What I was saying is, need not be that I must put my leg here. As long as the knee is on the side, which means the hip is opening up, so you can release the tension and maintain balance. But if you're saying, no, I'm not there yet, okay, fine. Just keep it on the lower, below, even on your ankle. But make sure your hip is quiet. Okay. And find a point of focus and stretch your hands. And do it on the opposite, so on the other side. If what I want to emphasize is the poses, the areas that we are selecting, what is the objective for that particular disease, whether it's anxiety or stress. Once you understand what the reason for the stress is, you can say, okay, I can select the yoga postures. So what I have shared is more representative that could help. But there may be other postures, right? This is just to show you these postures help because they target the specific areas to reduce the blood pressure, to activate the vagus nerve, to engage the vagus nerve, hip flexor, psoas muscle. So you may have other postures that can say, okay, I understand what we are trying to do. I can bring in additional poses as well. Okay. I think any questions? Thanks for holding your questions towards the end. Let me know if you have any specific thing that we need to address. I can't hear. Somebody speaking? Anybody? Devendra Bhai, you were speaking something? You had unmuted.
I did. No, I was just going to say thank you very much. I think this poses pigeons only we have not practiced as much. I don't think we've done it maybe once. So probably people need to work on that maybe a little bit more because the others we're familiar, not necessarily all of them, but the others I think are familiar for most have practiced. So pigeons one, I think is important that we've not done. I don't think it was in our list, so we should learn that properly. Pigeon pose.
And start with the downward facing dog.
Yeah.
To come into the right pose properly. Right there, your legs are already straight when you're downward facing dog. So only thing is the leg that needs to be bent, that comes forward. So yeah, starting posture helps. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else? Good. Any other comments?
I like your summaries of the diseases. I think you presented me. I always keep saying that when you summarize the background of the disease is very, very helpful because it seems that thought connects with the poses. So I think I would like to say that's probably a good one. That the way you're presenting is very, very logical. So you can see the logic of what the disease does. Even past, present, future, the way it is a different way of putting it. We don't normally think like that. So very helpful. So it's
adds. Yeah, when we are learning the yoga pose, they don't teach us. They say, okay, do this pose, open your leg. But what is it doing anatomically? I think, you covering the medical, you and then other doctors covering the medical angle, physiology angle, and then combining both together. Yeah, that makes it easy to remember now. We don't have to think. Okay.
Yeah, and I think what you're trying to guide people is you already know the principle of the pose. You could figure out which pose to use yourself. And I think that's true. They're now at a point where they could figure out, I think this may work here, and it probably will. I think it's to that level that they're getting to, I think.
And additionally, not everybody can do all the poses. So you can say, okay, I have a toolbox for this particular disease. Okay, if you can't do this pose, I can substitute with something else.
Yes.
If I can't do balancing pose, let's say tree pose, I can substitute with warrior pose, right? Warrior one, warrior two. Idea is
Ah,
balancing.
yes, yes.
So you
There's
have a lot of
balance.
tools in your toolbox because you probably know more than few dozen poses by now
Yes.
to this course, in addition to what you probably knew before itself. So
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, and presentations are also laid out very nicely with the organs, the poses, and everything.
Thank you. Yeah.
Could we upload these presentations in the Google Classroom, because I don't see them? It will be easier for us to study if they are uploaded.
I had the same question.
I thought Devendra bhai, everything was getting uploaded, Vandami.
No, I think we just have to send the PDF. You send it to me, so if the final one I sent to Samiji, but we're a little bit catching up. But your PDFs that you send me, I supposed to send to Samiji, but a little bit catching up there. But everything will be available. I think.
Yeah, the video lecture is being uploaded and the PPT is being covered in that. So there is no need to share the PPT. And that's why from last few weeks, I have not uploaded any PPT.
Yeah,
Would
but
it
if
be
there's
possible-
PPT, then it's easier to revise, instead of
And
looking into
take
the
notes.
video.
We are studying.
I would agree with that. If it's
Mhm.
possible to upload the PowerPoints.
Right.
Yeah, because all the speakers, they just speak and we don't ask for PPT sometimes. That's why they couldn't share. So this is also the reason we could not upload. And since I thought that the video is covering the PPT also.
One of the things, Vandami, I got a
Yes.
request is
Mm-hmm.
to have a disease
Mm-hmm.
and all the poses for that disease and a comment section, what we are trying to do. So you have in one page a
Mm-hmm.
summary so that easier to revise. May not have the diagram,
Mm-hmm.
what is being asked. So that's one of the things that I intend to put together and share it with you and share it with everyone. Where
I think, yeah, Dr. Devendra might be talking the same thing for few days, few
a little bit
weeks.
different.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
different.
So all it is little bit
A
different.
little
Okay.
simpler, and then there's a fancy version. This is a
Mhm.
simpler version, which I think will be very helpful.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's good for preparation. This is with the idea of preparing for the exam. I mean, not an
Mhm.
exam, but just, okay, if I have this ailment, these are the 7 poses, and what does
Mhm.
each pose do? By just looking at one particular page, you understand it from a
Correct.
poses perspective. What Devendra Bhai is saying is something a little bit more detailed, a lot more research, diagrams of the poses, all that. So that's a separate set of images.
I think we should already have a majority of the diagrams, right? Means you are already displaying. So it's not a harm
Exactly.
to put a diagram as well. Sometimes just the name right now we remember, but if we are preparing, then let's think for the future one as well. So the small diagram of, yeah, that will be also help, and then the description. So
Yes, yes.
That's better than the whole PPT. I think they'll have what you want. I mean, the whole PPT we can certainly upload. I have them also, so I mean, we can do that. No
Yes.
problems with that if you'd like. And I think I'm forwarding PPTs I have.
Yeah, because all the speakers, when they give lecture somewhere, so it is for them especially, so that they can give their own talks according to their own PPTs. So we don't ask for PPTs, but just for this exam and making some quiz, etc. So sometimes we say that, okay, you can share. Then if you can share, then we can see.
But this
I'll
summary may be a nice way to do it because it summarizes what you need to learn from that. So I think what Ramesh is suggesting is what we should do. And then the second one, which will take longer, is the multidimensional. I think came up with the conversation with Rakesh at the beginning, but I think it seems such a good idea. So we're working on that. We've got first trial of one that we're working on. That'll take time because it might need some graphic design to kind of make it fit well. but that's going to be more your, when you have your clients, we can use that because you have everything in there at the fingertip.
So it is Rameshji who has to share that. Is it possible?
I just take my inspiration from Devendra Bhai and you, madam.
One is not ready to share yet, but we have an idea. We're working on it, so we have that. So it's once we get one working, we'll let you edit, and then we can finalize the template. Then we create others with that template.
Exactly.
So that's what we are aiming for. So we just back and forth trying to get it right.
I think we have covered about 12 or 15 diseases.
Yeah.
So there'll be like 15 sheets of paper with the scientific research, diagrams, all that. Yeah. So it's still a concept, so nothing for me to show you.
Yes.
But I can create that, Cyril, with the diagrams, one page of just diagram, disease, stress. These are 7 poses. Second page. So that's very easy to do because I already have that, as you said. Yeah.
That's the current one, and the other one will have the mudra, everything in mudras, and it'll like the whole package. This current one is really for the exam purpose, and we used this in the past also for the other courses. So nice little page with summary of what to do. But then the other one is something we thought of just because of research graphs and plots and names of the studies. You can easily show somebody and they can verify. So you can use database, evidence-based approach. So two separate things are a little overlapping. First one, I think, is the one that will help you in lieu of the PPT. And, I'll skip forward into Samiji, and of course we can have them. It's just even the PPTs you have to go through, but this summary might take care of your needs.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you for all wonderful session and very informative discussion or talk. So all the times we are getting very good information from all our speakers, and they all are adding some new informations. So I think there is no repetition in the lectures. So we all are talking about some physical element from different perspectives.
Good.
Yeah, very effective class.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you very
Look forward
much.
to seeing you on Saturday. Thank you for your flexibility.
Yeah, Samiji, we were wondering if Ramesh, you can start at 9 on Saturday, and then you can do at 10 o'clock. Is that okay?
Yeah, I have no problem.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Anand. I have my daughter visiting here, so that's why I want to.
No problem.
Madhu is come.
We
Thank
are
you.
at our place. We have to go nowhere. So we are always stable here. So I have no problem. Whenever
Thank you.
convenient for you, you can take before.
So 9 o'clock, I'll see you on Saturday.
Yes.
All right.
This will be in person or Zoom?
Zoom.
Zoom.
In person is end of the month. It's 28th
okay.
and 1st.
Yeah.
So you can come, of course. You're welcome to come. The bed story is ready, but this can be.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ramesh Bhai. Ramesh Bhai.
Bye.
Now, Dr. Devendra will give his session today.
Yeah. Thank you, Samiji. So we'll work on contemplation. Just one note, just because it's just important to understand the difference. Most of the meditation we're doing so far, including the psychic sense, we're trying to, in a way, control our mind, to not use the mind or make the mind be restful or not like them moving all over the place. Contemplation, we're using the mind to focus and auto-suggest. So there's a little subtle difference in contemplation. So this is like the last of the set in the book. Okay, so that's just subtle difference, but it's good to just acknowledge that so you get some different idea of what we're doing. So first we'll start with the basic pre-meditation exercise 1 and 2 in the book. So first one we'll use Om for the first one. So first I want to just relax in sitting position. At some point we'll be lying down, so you can do that also. for the card. So, but you can do sitting also. So we'll relax and just take a couple of deep breaths just to relax. Okay, then next we'll do some ohms. So we'll take deep breath and stretch your ohm as much as you can. As the ohm vibrates, feel the vibration in your body. So you kind of sensing, aware of it, not just saying it. Okay, ready? Deep breath in. Om. Deep breath in. Om. Deep breath in. Om. We'll do one more time. You can go up to 9. We'll do one more time this time. Breath in. Om. Om. The vibration, you can at the navel. Now we're going to move to the second exercise. It's a card circuit. So we're going to, again, just relax, a couple of simple breaths. Eyes closed. You can sit or lie down. A few seconds to get your pose right.
Meditation, there is no lying down, only in seating posture.
Even card section, sorry, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So focus on the right toe. Use your mind and visualize the nerves and the muscle of the right toe. And relax. Relax. Relax your right toe inside out. Relax. Move on to the other toes of the right leg. Relax the toes. Then relax. Relax the sole of your foot. Relax the ankle, heel, the top of the foot. Wrap your mind around them and relax the muscles and the nerves. Relax. Move up to your calf muscles. Wrap your mind around the muscles and the nerves and relax. Relax. Go up to the knee, joint. Relax. Relax. Up to the thigh. Relax. Right hip. Relax. Whole right leg up to the hip is relaxed. Go on to the left big toe. Relax. That's the muscle and the nerve. Wrap your mind around it. Relax. Relax your second, fourth, fifth toes. Relax. Relax your soul. Relax your heel, your ankle, top of the foot. Relax. Go up to the calf muscle. Wrap your mind around muscles. Relax the nerves. Relax. Go up to the joint. Relax. Relax the thigh. Relax your hip. The entire left is relaxed. Now move up to your lower abdomen and upper abdomen. Move to the back. Relax the back. Relax. Relax the front. Relax the front abdomen. Relax the lower and upper abdomen. And relax your chest. Relax the chest, front. Relax the back. Relax the rib cage. Relax the muscles right up to your clavicle. Relax. Relax your right hand, the right thumb. Wrap your mind around the muscle and nerves and relax. Relax your fingers, your palm on the right. Relax your wrist. Relax your forearm, elbow, your shoulder, and the forearm, the upper arm to the shoulder. Relax. Left hand, relax the thumb. Relax the fingers. Relax the palm, wrist, the forearm, your elbow, your upper arm, the shoulders, both hands and shoulders are relaxed. Now you move up to your neck and head. Relax the throat. Relax all the muscles. Throat. Relax. Chin, the jaw, cheeks, lips, mouth, all the facial muscles. Relax. Press your nose, your eyes, your ears. Relax. The temples at the side of the head. Relax your forehead and relax your scalp. Feel that relaxation. Couple of breaths. I'll now move on to contemplation. You aware of your entire body being relaxed. Just a quick body scan from head to toe. Head. Relax. Relax. Now you concentrate your consciousness the entire region of the lungs, the neck to the heart, perhaps lower end of the heart. Concentrate on your lung. Repeat 9 times the following words aloud. My positive attitude of fearlessness is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from fear. My positive attitude of fearlessness is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from fear. My positive attitude of fearlessness is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from fear. My positive attitude of fearlessness is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from fear. Visualize those words written on your chest region, the bright green color. My positive attitude of fearlessness is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from fear. Visualize that slowly and read it slowly, word by word, for a few minutes. Now, with your mind's eye, visualize everything around you, including the air itself. And it's all colored bright green. As you take a deep breath and slowly inhale, visualize that you are breathing long streams of green air. Continue the breathing with its long streams of green air for a few minutes. Now, focus your attention on the Anand Kendra, which is central bliss, located near the heart. Visualize bright green light radiating from the center. Bright green light radiating from the center. Continue that 2-3 minutes. As you visualize this, repeat yourself mentally 3 times. I realize that my positive attitude of fearlessness has become stronger and I have become free from fear. I realize that my positive attitude of fearlessness has become stronger and I have become free from fear. Just repeat that to yourself mentally. Again, concentrate your consciousness to the entire portion of the lung from neck to the heart. Repeat the following syllable. Abhay, 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 Visualize that the above syllable, obey, is written on your chest region in bright green color. Now read it slowly and mentally for about 3 minutes. Obey is the word. Now we'll move on to contemplation of endurance, to increase the capacity of patiently enduring with equanimity, physical as well as mental sufferings. Concentrate your consciousness on the entire region of the lungs from neck to the heart and repeat 9 times. My positive attitude of endurance is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from intolerance. My positive attitude of endurance is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from intolerance. My positive attitude of endurance is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from intolerance. Visualize that above those words written on the chest region in bright green color. Read each word slowly and silently and repeat this for a few minutes. My positive attitude of endurance is becoming strong. I am becoming free from intolerance. Visualize that bright green color. With your mind's eye, visualize everything around you, including the air itself, colored bright green. Take a deep breath and slowly inhale. Visualize that you are breathing long streams of green air in. Long streams of green air. Continue that visualization breathing for a couple of minutes. Now focus your attention on the Anand Kendra in the heart and visualize bright green light radiating from the center outward. Continue this for a couple of minutes. Repeat to yourself mentally 3 times. I realize that my positive attitude of endurance has become stronger and I have become free from intolerance. Repeat that mentally to yourself 3 times while you're raising bright green light from the center, Anand Kendra. Again, concentrate your consciousness on the entire portion of the lung, from neck to heart, and repeat the following syllable. Driti, 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 driti. Visualize that the word driti is written on your chest region in bright green color, and read it slowly and mentally for a few minutes. Okay, next, contemplation of modesty. To cultivate decorum of manner and conduct, one must refrain from conceit and harshness. Concentrate your consciousness on the entire region of lungs from neck to heart. Repeat 9 times the following words aloud. My positive attitude of modesty is increasing. I am becoming free from conceit. My positive attitude of modesty is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from conceit. My positive attitude of modesty is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from conceit. My positive attitude of modesty is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from conceit. Visualize the above words are written on your chest region in bright green color, and read each word slowly and silently for a few minutes. My positive attitude of modesty is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from conceit. Visualize those. Okay, now concentrate your conscious on the entire portion of the lungs again, neck to heart. Repeat the following syllable. Mriduta, 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 mriduta. Visualize the word mriduta written on your chest region in bright green color. Read it slowly and mentally for a few minutes. Mriduta. Okay, next we'll move to contemplation of straightforwardness. Be fair to others if you expect them to be fair to you. Crookedness may succeed temporarily, but in the long run, honesty is the best policy. Concentrate your consciousness in the entire region of the lungs and repeat 9 times the following. My positive attitude of honesty is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from deceit. My positive attitude of honesty is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from deceit. My positive attitude of honesty is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from deceit. My positive attitude of honesty is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from deceit. Visualize the words written on the chest region in bright green color, and then read each word slowly and silently. My positive attitude of honesty is becoming stronger. I am becoming free from deceit. Visualize that between letters for a few minutes. Now focus your attention on the Anand Kendra, center of bliss. Visualize bright green light radiating from the center. Continue this for 2 to 3 minutes. And repeat to yourself mentally 3 times. I realize that my positive attitude of honesty has become stronger, and I have become free from deceit. Repeat that mentally to yourself. I'll say it one more time. I realize that my positive attitude of honesty has become stronger, and I have been free from deceit. Again, concentrate your consciousness on the entire portion of the lungs, from the neck to the heart. Repeat the following syllable. Richita, 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 Richita. Visualize the syllable Richita written on your chest region in bright pink color, and read it slowly and mentally for a few minutes. Okay, now take a couple of deep breaths. Say 2 ohms. Om. Oh. Your hands close. Cover your eyes. Open your eyes in the dark. Slowly get used to the light. Okay, one more. I hope nobody fell asleep.
That was wonderful, Devendra Bhai.
You fall asleep?
Very nice.
No,
Was good. Good
yeah, really, I got
clear
absorbed.
explanation.
Yeah, it was good to cover all the
Mm.
major contemplations together. It was very good.
Yeah, there are 5. I thought 4 is enough today. And then I think you can do 3 more.
Yes. So it was wonderful. And you have covered 4, all the
4.
4.
4. I think I had 5 in the book, but I did 4, Samaji.
Yeah, 4 are enough. 4 are
Exactly.
enough.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, you can alternate. The last one I didn't do is contentment, but that's for greed. But maybe the 4 kasai can be separate.
Yeah. The last one is on greed.
Mhm.
And before it is anger, ego, and
Yeah, they didn't come in this book, so I thought so. But this book has those 5. It doesn't have the focus side, just greed. It has. So I just went by the book because then I was to make an error. It had. It started with fear, then endurance, modesty, and then straightforwardness. Then it went to.
the small one. The small one you can.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then went to contentment. Then so.
Okay. Yes.
I thought first I'll do this because in my hands I will make a mistake, but I did think that we can do the focus eye in the future.
Yes, it is for 4% actually. The white one is also heavy. The white man one.
The other one has. I thought I'd just not make a mistake if I use this. I stuck to what it says.
Okay, yeah, it is. It is good. It is first published, and then the white one, and it is all the participants are given this manual.
Right. It's laid out nicely here. The other ones you have to remember what you said, so it's much easier to do the first time.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is Friday.
I think Sachi was tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I am tomorrow. With perception of color.
Okay. Okay, so tomorrow is Shachi, no?